There we go. All right. So what this is, Amber, this is our 90-day push group. So this is not our entire organization, not, you know, like there's a lot of us, but this is just the ones that are in the push group that are running for Diamond and above. So that's who's hopping on tonight. And we do know that it's kind of late for East Coasters. That's why I did decide to record. But if we can, what we can do, Amber, a lot of people know you because they know about KPIs. They see your face, but a lot of people don't know your story, where you're from, how long you've been in. So if you could just share with us like a quick little, like, who's Amber Parker? Like, who is she?
Nobody special. Just kidding. I'm very special.
Yes, you are.
Hi guys. So I have 2 requests. Number 1, can you please turn your camera on if you can? If you are completely distracted, keep it off because it just distracts me. I'm going to have you mute everyone too. I think everyone's muted. Okay. So yeah, just if you can, just because I am a complete yellow personality, and if I can see into your eyes, I can see into your soul. And that sounded really creepy, but kind of true, not true. Anyways, I really just want to connect with you. So again, if you can't, don't worry about it. We do not need to show up at 10 every single day. So don't worry. I don't have makeup on. I don't care, sis. Get a life. Okay. We are here. So most of us are probably in our pajamas. I know I'm sitting in bed with my computer's literally on a pillow, but we are here for it. Okay. So I joined this business, you guys, 8 years ago. I joined in a time when I was completely broken emotionally, but also physically. And I swore up and down that I would never do network marketing. That is not something that I wanted to do. I was a successful stylist, yet I was broke. So for any of your friends that look really professional and awesome and rich, that definitely doesn't need to be the case. And I'm sure there's a lot of credit card debt behind that because that was the case for me. And somebody asked me a question that completely changed my life, and I wanted the body wraps. That's what I led with. That's how I went ambassador. It was not any of the products that we have today. It was literally the body wraps, defining gel and fat fighters. That took me ambassador, and I started using my own results. But she said, for $40 more, you can at least have the option to buy it as you want. And I was like, huh? Because a customer was 3 months. And I couldn't afford 3 months. I didn't know my financial situation. And she said, for $40 more, you can just, you know, get a license to market and at least have the option to buy when you want and make money. And I was like, I don't want to make money. And little did she know that that was actually an answer to a prayer. And she wasn't working the business. So I never had an upline. Nobody even knew who I was till I was top 50. And I completely ran my whole entire business by myself with my husband. I learned, I had my login, I had my eSuite, and that was it. I went Ruby in 45 days and I got that first paycheck. It was right around $384 and some change, insert income disclosure here. And I made that call to somebody else who was also a Ruby. And I said, I quit. She was the next girl above us. And I just said, I think I'm done. This just isn't for me. And I said, I worked 45 days straight for a $300 paycheck. What was wrong was that I had an employee mindset. I was used to clocking in, clocking out, and getting paid. I didn't know what residual income was. And she said, Amber, you have a $10,000 bonus on the line. She said, if you can just keep going at the rate you're going, you could possibly get a bonus. And I was like, yeah, that's a scam, and I'm not doing it. And so I'm a rebel too. Like if somebody tells me I can't do something, sit back, sis, I'll do it twice. Okay. Like that is just in my blood. And tell me I can't do something, please. Like I dare you. And I'll do it so good. Like you'll be shocked. Okay. So I kept going, and I went diamond on the 15th of the month in November because I didn't know better. It said calendar months. Well, I signed up on the 15th. Surely I thought the 15th was the month. So I learned very early on how to push my volume to the beginning of the month. Even I was diamond, okay, mind you, 24 distributors back then. It's only 15 now. And I did all but one of those distributors, every single one of them but one, by myself. Okay. And I had a system. I had the steps of success. And that is how I went diamond on the 15th of the month. And so I can also teach you guys that, how to be a CEO. Still to this day, I run my business in 15 days. I don't have 30 days. I have 15 days. So that way I have another 15 days for my downline. And I still have that mindset. I went to conference, and I remember seeing everyone go on stage, and I was like, oh, who are these 6 foot tall blonde Barbies? Get me out of here. Like, this is not me. Guys, my head was shaved like a year ago and was like dark black hair. I was like punk rock or whatever. And when I started, and I was like, I'll never make it. This company is not for me. Like, where are the sisters like me? 5'2" on a really good hair day, maybe 5'2" with like a scrunchie or something. But like, where are my sisters at? Like, I literally couldn't relate to anybody. And I sat down in my chair, and God spoke to me, and he said, why not you? Mind you, I didn't have a faith back then. I was pissed off at the world. I was so depressed. I hated so much of life. And he said, why not you? And I was like, excuse me? I literally looked, and I was like, who just talked to me? Why not you? And I sat up in my chair, and I sent a text to my husband, and I said, I'm retiring you. I don't know what that means, but something's going down. I'm here. We're here. We're doing the dang thing. And I looked at my team, and I said, what do you want? What do you want? What do you want? What do you want? And at the end of that conference, they announced more bonuses. And I remember reading and studying Zig Ziglar. And he says, if you help enough people get what they want, you'll always have more than enough of what you want. And so I looked at my team, and I said, what do you guys want? And I took 10 people diamond in 30 days. And I went from diamond to triple in 30 days. 30 days. Diamond to triple. I went from about a $1,500 income, insert income disclosure statement here, to $17,000 as a triple in 30 days. I don't say that to brag, you guys. I say that because I wasn't focused on the money. I was focused on the people. And still to this day, I think that that is a huge missing piece of this entire company. We can all do a better job at. And so much of us are bred me, instead of you. And it'll go a lot further when we can start shifting that mindset. So that June, I retired my husband. I didn't retire him the minute I hit that check, guys. Like, I did not. Okay. Don't. I do not recommend changing your lifestyle. I actually, in fact, probably majority would say, don't bring your husband home. Let him, stay over there. Or work a job because they can, not because they have to. That's the true freedom. I love my husband, you guys. I love him with all my heart. Our marriage is 14 years strong. Like, I love him. There are seasons where people just shouldn't. It's not good for their marriage, okay? That's a whole nother story we can talk about later. So I brought him home, and I got stuck. And then a year later, I went presidential. A year later, I went ambassador, and I had to grow into that. I didn't know mindset. I didn't know money. I knew leadership. I knew manager. I knew retail sales. I didn't know sales online. I didn't know closing verbiage. Like, I had to learn. I had to study. I was in a new career. I had to go to college. So I went to college on my phone, and I started reading and studying and doing the work behind it. And so 2.5 years in, we went ambassador, and God has interesting plans for you. And if you can just trust that process, I swore up and down I would never stop doing hair, and I do not do hair anymore. I get that same fulfillment from this business, meeting somebody and seeing them in one position. And when they leave me, hopefully they leave feeling a different way. And that's exactly why I love doing hair. So it doesn't mean that you have to lose yourself in this business. It doesn't mean that you have to quit your job. It just means that there's options, and that's the true freedom. So, in April, 2019 sucked. It was a really horrible year. I think for a lot of us, I think actually even worse than 2020. Can I get an amen? But, we won't need to talk about that. But I was wrestling with God at the beginning of the year, and I said, if it's not for you, from you, because of you, I'm not doing it, period. And I don't owe anyone an explanation. And if people want to be mad about that, don't be mad at the boundary I set that you poured, right? So I was wrestling with God, and I said, what's next for my family? Like, why am I doing this? Is it so I'm on my phone 12 hours a day? Is it so I'm saying, oh, sorry, baby, no, I can't watch a movie with you because I have work to do? No. Okay. No. And so that's where KPI came from. It was, what did I do to go ambassador in 2.5 years? What did I do consistently every single day? What is that? How did I do it? And how can one size fits all for the mom, for the dad, for the grandma, for, the single mom, for the married mom, the supportive husband, for the, the husband who's working this business without his wife. Like, I wanted a one size fits all success plan. And that's where KPIs came from. And you guys, in April, God put it on my heart. He said, travel. You're already traveling. Last year, I traveled 15 days out of the month for 11 months. I hired a nanny. That's not why I joined. that ended real quick because I was like, I can do this all. And I'll be darned if I let somebody else raise my kids. And so we sold our house, our dream home, and we bought a fifth wheel, and we are traveling the US. And I'm telling you, 2020 has been the best year for us. And it's because I don't have to say no to anybody. I don't have to say no to my kids. I don't have to say no to adventuring. I don't have to say no to, oh, I can't do this or I can't do that. I have all the freedom in the world, and that's because of this business, you guys. But let me tell you, it's freaking work. And not everyone will make it. But those that want it bad enough, they'll stay around. They'll make it. That's my story, a little bit about it.
Oh my gosh, you guys. Gives me chills. Like, I swear, she just starts talking, and then by the end of it, I'm like, mic drop, like that. Like, everything she said right then just got me so pumped up and so excited. I mean, you guys, she's traveling around right now in the fifth wheel with her family. Like, if you guys are not following, don't friend request her, but go follow Amber Parker. And you guys, her daily posts, it's just, there's no reason why you can't do what she's doing, and so inspiring. And I love it. And if you guys don't already know, her husband is Josh Parker. And some of you got your men, whoever that might be, a brother, a husband, a boyfriend, or someone. He did a Zoom for the men of this push group. The men, either the man that's in it or the man that wants to be supportive. And so Amber and Josh, I mean, they are all about one team, one mission. Helping everyone, seeing everyone succeed, and we're just super grateful for you and Josh, Amber, like, to take the time to do this with us too, and how Josh did it with the men, like, so good. So we are going to jump into a few questions. I know we don't have a lot of time, but some of you guys submitted questions to me to ask Amber, so we're going to go and do that now. The first one we had was, how do you pump up your newbies? So for somebody brand new joined the business, they have no idea what they're getting into. How do you pump them up and get them excited and keep that excitement going?
I think a lot of it has to do with their why. Why did they join? So often we're like, please join for me because I need a fast start. Please join for me because I need to fill a box in my Ruby chart. That is not where we want it. You can have that. Like, that's not wrong. Okay. You need that. Sure. But ultimately this is about them. Remember, I just talked about that. Me versus you. And when you focus on you, the other person, then your business is going to flow a lot easier. So finding their pain, why did they join? And I'll tell you this, strangers won't open up to you. They'll open up to the degree that you open up. So if I have a new person and their life looks put together, but they're like, hey, sorry, my kids were like, I had a really rough day today. I'm like, oh, that was me on Monday, sister. Relate. Okay. But also in the excitement. Oh my gosh. Like, I have one girl who's like, I just want to buy my groceries. And I was able to relate to her. I remember when I was on food stamps and I would go at midnight, so I would hide so people that were local to me didn't see that I was buying my food with food stamps. Okay. Like, be relatable. And if you can't relate to them, find someone who can. Okay. And so I think keeping the excitement going is going to be dreaming, telling them how close they are. And I think they only know what they know. So like, I have one girl who she's been in for, 3 years, let's say, and she's like, oh my gosh, I'm 1,000 volume away from Ruby. And she thinks it's 100,000. She feels like that, right? And then you have the newbie who's like, I'm like, girlfriend, you're 1,000 BB away from Ruby. And she's like, oh, I got that in 3 days. But how we respond to it is also going to be, what do we think 1,000 volume is? Can you pull in 1,000 volume in 24 hours? I bet you could if you wanted it bad enough. Right? Yeah. And so we have to see, like, they only know what they know because that's what they were taught. So shift that mindset. And just because they haven't done it once doesn't mean they can't do it once. So be as excited as they are, be relatable, and then just be their friend first. I talk about that. It's so important. You guys know their kids' names, know what they're doing for work, know where they went to college. Like, that is a quality that I think so many of us are missing, yet we all crave it. And it's because we feel like nobody cares about us. Nobody asked me those questions. So I don't need to ask them. Yes, you do. We need to be the ones that's going to break that chain.
Yeah.
Of lack of connection. So
I love that. I know when I first joined you guys, I remember my upline, Renda Emick, she was a hairstylist, just like Amber was a hairstylist. If somebody wanted to join my business and they're a hairstylist, I can't relate to that. I mean, I have gray hair right now. Like, let's keep it real. It's either box dye or natural. So if you needed to direct them to where they can relate to someone, or the borrowed belief, all of those things. So I love that you said that. I think we might know the answer to this one, but if you can elaborate a little bit. Somebody asked, what does a day look like in the life of Amber, managing life and business? I have a feeling you're going to go ahead and talk about KPIs, because I don't know how else you would be able to do it without KPIs, but what does your life look like being able to manage life and business?
My very first thing that that came to my mind was absolute chaos. Like, guys, I thrive in the craziness. I thrive in the like, what just happened kind of a deal. And there's different seasons. There's seasons of my business where I was up at 4:30. I was hitting the gym twice a week. I was competing in fitness. I was running a business. I was pushing for promotions. I had the most amount of enrollments. Like, there's different seasons for different times. And I think that you have to trust the season that you're in. Okay. This season that I'm in right now, I'm a night owl. I love this. Like, late nights, like, oh, you guys got the best of me. You call me at 7:00 in the morning, you ain't even getting an answer. Like, we're not here. Okay. Like, go home. Okay. But I'm a night owl. So I love night times, and which means that I also am, if I'm staying up late, I'm not getting up early. Okay. And I don't think it matters to a degree. There's going to be a season where you're going to get to challenge yourself. Okay. I've been in that season, sister. I know what that's like. Okay. Like, I know what it's like waking up at 4:00 and going to bed at midnight. I know what that's like. And so for me now in this season, Josh and I run off of Eastern time because of corporate. So a lot of times he's up before me. But one thing that we do is we go to bed every single night together. There's nothing that is that important tonight that can't wait for in the morning. We will go to bed together. But most of the mornings I wake up, I like to play music. Music actually, if you can start your day with music, sometimes it's Jesus, sometimes it's Gangsta Rap, okay? Sometimes it's Pink, sometimes it's Avril Lavigne. Like, we have it all. And so starting your day with music has actually increased your positivity, but it also helps with depression. And I get seasonal depression, which means if it's too dark, too gloomy, I'm not outside enough, we're bad news. We're going to the tanning salon to try and get that vitamin D, okay? So I'm trying to look like all you brown girls out there, all right? So I'm like, people, when I have actually asked me a lot, are you like Polynesian? I'm like, mm-hmm. I like Hawaii. But you guys, I just love being in the positive vibe. So listen to music. That's first thing and foremost in the morning. I start my coffee, which obviously kicks in KPIs. So I do my coffee every single morning. Sometimes I recycle, not like used coffee, but like the videos. So I do that a lot of times. I like to get my kids on. I homeschool my kids. This is a third year on purpose, which is kind of silly. I know some of you moms are doing virtual school. That's not the same. And I'm so sorry. And I'm praying for you guys that you make it through every single day. Doing virtual school online, that is not the same as homeschool. So I homeschool my kids, and I don't teach them. They do it all online. They're done by 10:30 in the morning, which really means I have to get going and be done. I want to be done when they're done. And so I try and get my business done. And then we usually go out together as a family and do some kind of activity. Whether that's pausing, whether that's service, no service, whether that is, cell phone service. And so I try to do those kind of things with my kids and get them involved. And that also allows me to break. But I'm very scheduled as far as times go. If it's not on my calendar, it ain't happening. It is very rare that my team knows to just FaceTime me randomly and that I'm going to answer. That's not the case. And then I try and work really hard Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Well, really it's Sundays, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And that way I at least have Thursday and Friday, Saturday to kind of just get my cup filled back up again, if that makes sense. And again, seasons, everyone's different. Yours might be Monday that you get that. Yours might be at night versus in the morning. Yours might be while your kids are napping. It's just going to vary, but that's my day. My non-negotiables are eating dinner with my family every single night, no cell phones. Date night non-negotiable every single week. Whether that is like today, we had an hour between my two Zooms. So me and Josh loaded up the bikes and went for a 45-minute bike ride. And that was our date. So they don't have to be like elaborate, but it's just that time together to connect. And then obviously different Zooms, different days. So every day is a little bit different, but the main things that I want to focus on are my family first, myself, my faith, my business, and being consistent. So
love it. And I love what you said about how you want to be done when your kids are done. I hear that so much from people that they're having to put the business on the back burner because of school. Well, why are you not working your business while your kids are at school? However, yes, some of you have little kids, so you have to be there, right? Then you got to wake up 30 minutes before they get up, and you got to stay up 30 minutes after they go to bed. Like, just make it happen. Luckily, some of us have the older kids where you work when they work, and then that way you can be done, you know?
But I started this business when my son was 1.
See?
Y'all forget that. Like, my son was 1. I had a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old. Okay. Bubble Guppies was like my best friend. Is that even still a show?
Yes.
Or like Paw Patrol, right? Or Dora the Explorer. Like, we already, like, don't even lie if you don't tell me that your kids don't sit on those iPods, Nintendo, something else. You're lying. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But just be choosy with when. So I'm going to work, you work. Okay.
Exactly.
I'm going to jump on this. You jump on that. Like, you have so much time. We avoid so much. And then we're like, I can't do it because my kids. You better do it because of your kids. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You better do it because of your kids.
Yes, exactly. All right. A couple more questions. The next one is, does Amber follow the 5 F's of posting, or just kind of go with the flow, whatever she feels like during the day? So the 5 F's, you know, faith, fashion, fun, food, and faces. Oh, wow. Did I get that? That's like an old version. I mean, might be different for other people, but is that like, do you have a method to that, or like, because your posts are really good.
Thank you. I did. And it stressed me out. And so remember that time when I said, like, no, period. I'm not, powerful people don't deal in explanation. I ain't explaining why I'm not doing it. Okay. But you have to do something that works for you. And so I think similar to that, I don't necessarily follow those in order. I just think sometimes if we're too scheduled, it doesn't allow the opportunity for inspiration. And people need to see the real and the authentic. I literally got a message today from somebody who was like, I love how authentic you are. You guys, this is a potential customer. I don't even know her. She's from Instagram. So, but she can tell that I'm not putting on a show. I'm not only posting the glamorous. Okay. My fat rolls hang out. All right. When sometimes the leggings are too tight. So what? All right. Like, I'm still posting it. And I think that so many of us have to be so polished. And it's the lack of confidence, or the lack of like, oh, well, I have to do it this way in order for it to work. And I remember Gary V. If you guys don't follow him, be careful. Vulgar language noted. Don't watch around kids. Don't listen around kids. But he's incredible. His content is genius. So just ignore it. But he said, you know what's interesting to me? He says, is how many of you on Instagram, guys, this wrecked me. He says, how many people on Instagram don't post incredible content because it doesn't go with the flow? And I was like, oh, I'm so guilty. Like, I don't care if the picture is perfect. I don't care if it goes in a scheme. I'm not going to be your perfect canvassed Instagram. It's not going to happen. Okay. Where a couple years ago it was, you have to post every hour on the hour. If you skip an hour, you're exhausted, Like, there was all this crap, and it was, that set me up for failure. Well, I don't know about you, but I like success versus failure. Yes, I'm going to fail, but let me fail on my own. Freak. Okay. So ever since I heard him say that, I was like, you know what? Screw it. If my pictures aren't filtered, I don't freaking care. If this scenery isn't a picture and I have 2 selfies back to back, I don't care. I'm done over analyzing, and I'm going to start being me. And so I follow similar, but mine is what I call pillars. I just want people to know me. So these are 5 to 10 things that are outside of my business. So if somebody came to my profile, if you went to my profile right now and you read 5 posts, any 5 posts, or every 5 to 12 posts, would you be able to tell that I love Jesus? Okay. Would you be able to tell that I love my husband? Would you be able to tell that my kids are my top priority? Would you be able to tell that I have some hobbies? Okay. Would you be able to tell that I do my best to be a good mom? So what are those things outside of my business, you guys? People buy from people. They don't buy from businesses. And so instead of us worrying about, you know, and I saw this on a post earlier today where somebody was like, I'm so sick of everyone who feels like their Facebooks. This was a girl about anti-MLM. And she goes, I'm so sick of people making posts and we can see right through it that it's not authentically you. And I was like, oh,
Ooh.
dang, burn, right? So again, these are just reality checks that it's like, take off the coats, take off the layers, like take off the pressure. And I same thing. I'm like, oh, I posted 47 minutes ago. I shouldn't post again. Forget, I'm done. Forget about it. If I'm feeling inspired at 7 a.m., it's going up. If I'm going to make coffee at midnight, I'm putting it up. I don't care. Someone's going to see it. Someone's going to be inspired, or they're not.
Mhm.
And then I'm not worried about what it looks like and how it has to look a certain way. We have enough on our plate. Let's take something off. So do I have strategy behind how I post? Yes, but it's more about me instead of things that I'm not interested in. I used to really include a lot of shoes until you move into a fifth wheel and then you don't have room for shoes. So they're muddy, they're dirty. So, just be you and stop worrying about the times and what it is here or there. It's exhausting.
Yeah.
So,
No,
yeah.
it makes sense. One thing, you guys, if you're not showing up to the corporate power hours and Zooms, Brittany Landrum did a power hour last week, and it was all about the pillars. So like Amber just said, she does the pillars. You can call it the 5 Fs, but it's like she said, it taught all about, be you and everybody should be able to know who you are, what you're about. So again, that was from corporate. We posted it. So make sure you guys, if you're missing out on those Zooms and stuff, and you're just waiting for us to tell you, you got to, show up. And then the other part of that was when you had said, be your realest you. For so long, I thought that I wasn't going to be able to attract my rock star because I'm not a blogger style poster on my Instagram. And you guys, now it makes, like, now that I let that go, that I didn't have to be perfect, I go to somebody's Instagram, and if it looks like a blog, like, it makes me think that. It makes me go like, I wonder what they really look like behind that filter, or what do they really look like behind, that picture of them holding the balloons on, or in the perfect background. So don't feel like you have to be perfect. And I love that you just kind of gave us that permission again to just be us. So, all right, we got one more question.
Sure.
And this one's a good one. And so this is going to be for someone, maybe that you've been in the business. Oh, I'm going to make sure everyone's muted. This is going to be for someone that's been in the business a little while, maybe, or maybe you just started and you didn't get your 6 customers in your first 30 days. When you feel like you have failed at a goal or a rank, how do you reboot your mindset? I loved that. And I love that it ended that with, how do you reboot your mindset? Not how, like, what do you do? It's like, this person literally is like,
knows.
yeah.
He already knows it's right here. It's in your mind, right? And this is something that I can't wait till I'm done. I can't wait till I'm depleted. I can't wait till I'm in the valley. It's a day by day thing. And that is something that Pam literally today reminded me of, was she's like, Amber, ride the bike. Amber, take that time for you. So you guys, we have to work on our mindset first. Otherwise, it's literally ground for the devil to play. And you don't want that. And remember that the goal doesn't change, the time frame may. Like, I'm still right on target to Black Diamond. Might be 2022, might be 2023, but I'm right on track, right? So the goal doesn't change, the time frame may, right? Or the way around might. We went on a ride today. We were like 2 miles. The trail changed so many different times. The goal was still the same. Okay. And did I crash? Did I burn? Yep, sure did. But you get back on and you keep going. But again, it's the mindset. And so it's not, I don't wait till I'm there. What happens is, if you take care of your mind first, if the goal is missed by the deadline, you're usually pretty good. You'll be like, no, it sucked, man. Like, for the 15th time, I'm going diamond this month, guys. I swear. I've been saying it for 4 years, but this month, man, I promise. Right? And then we think everyone sees that and they're like, oh yeah, she's been saying, no, that's just you and your perception of it. Okay. Nobody actually pays that close attention. So get over yourself. All right. If somebody is asking me 8 years later what I do, and I've been friends with them for 10 years and I'm consistent, surely nobody's paying attention if you said diamond 4 times. Okay. Like, sorry, nice excuse, get over yourself. That's not really the case. So the goal doesn't need to change, just your time frame may. And I think a lot of times too, if ever, which I do all the time, I miss goals, I miss marks, I feel flat on my face almost daily. But they say if you fall in public, you'll get up twice as fast. So be willing to say, I missed the goal, guys. We're shooting for it this month. Okay? Ask your market to be a part of it. They want to be a part of this. You're just too selfish to even say, I want to help enough people, because you haven't even told people you're pushing for diamond. You haven't even told someone I'm willing to help somebody go ruby. 2 people go ruby this month, because it's still been about you. And so then when we miss our goal, we feel like it's our fault. Or most of the time we actually blame our downline. She wasn't working. She didn't run an auto shipment. She should have done this. She should have done that. Well, why don't you go shit on yourself? Okay? Y'all getting me heated right now. But this is the case. And I'm only saying this because I have been here. And I'd be like, wait, what? This isn't their fault. We can run our business. I could build myself completely to ambassador. Would I keep it? No. Would it fall? 100%. But you could. So if I can, then why aren't I? Because as I go, so will they. Right? As I move forward, they will come. But we're so insulted that we made a goal and we missed it because we haven't worked on our brain and our mindset every single day leading up to that. We expect to work on that 1 week and that week to hold us 4-4. That ain't going to happen. Won't. Okay? You can't shower once a month and expect it to like still smell good after 30 days. I might push it 2 weeks, guys. Just kidding. But really, my hair, yes. My shower, no. But, okay, like it's the same thing, right? So you have to prime, you have to go in and work on your brain. I tell my team all that. Like this business is 90% mindset. You have your eye gates, your mouth gate, your ear gates. Watch them. Watch what you're speaking. Watch what you're seeing. Watch what you're hearing. Who you're hearing. What you're speaking. Who's speaking to you. Like it all is so relevant that we miss it. Right? So if you miss the goal, get back on. Don't change the goal. Change the time frame. Or look back and say, what did I do that didn't work? I always say there's no right or wrong way to work this business. None. There's not. There's 17,000 ways you can work this business. It's either working or it's not working. What you did and didn't hit it, something didn't work. What was it? Ask yourself, what was it that I didn't do, or what did I do that didn't work? Was it wrong? And I think that's a lot of times what we do. It's wrong. I'm so wrong. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay? There's no right or wrong. It's working or not working. Find out what's working, keep doing more of it. What's not working, eliminate it.
Yes. You know what? I just reboxed myself in for presidential probably for the 4th time. And I thought about like my post, I was like, oh my God, people are going to be like, again? And you're so right. They don't know. They have no idea. And if there are people judging you that might be paying attention, let them judge you, because you either don't ever want them to join your team anyways, or they're going to be the ones that eventually join and they're going to be a rock star maybe. So don't worry about like what people are thinking. Oh my gosh, so good, you guys. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and close this baby out. I'm so grateful for all of you that were on here tonight, and I'm so happy and grateful that we had Amber on here. I mean, like, you guys, she's busy. She's really busy, and she took this time to be with us and answer these questions. What I do want you guys to do is, you know, go on your Facebook and go on your Instagram and post something that you got from tonight. Like, post a picture, an aha moment, something, tag your upline, tag Amber. You know, again, don't friend request her, you can follow her, but, you know, share with everyone, like, why if they missed it tonight, tell everybody why they missed it, like what they missed out on, because this was so good. Oh my gosh, I'm just fired up. I'm so pumped. And again, thank you so much, Amber, for being on tonight. I'm so grateful. And we will see you guys on KPI Power Hour Zoom tomorrow morning. Don't miss it, because Amber's hosting. Thanks so much, you guys. Bye, Amber. Thank you.